Hey, it's me. It's Thursday night again. Buffering already. I hope this stays on. It's snowing here. You never know. This weather has been either cold, snowing, or really both all week long. And I am still having issues with my laptop and my, it's a long story. I got hacked and I'm having some problems, but I will just turn this around once in a while so we can talk and see who's on here. But tonight we're going to do like a little, I've done this before. Be like, why are you doing it again? Well, you know, it's hard to keep coming up with stuff, 3 times a week, 52 weeks. But I've done this a few times. But, there's people that haven't seen it, and there's people that want to revisit it. But this might actually be on my YouTube. I don't remember. But I just put 6 more on there this morning, public, that you could watch from the month of January. So that's my the Artsy Rose group. And my paid group, I put theirs in there too, but that's private. So the garden palette. So anyways, the Artsy Rose group or shop group, hey Diana, is over here. I'm going to put the link up for you. I just hope I'm buffering again, so let's just hope I stay on tonight. Oops, show. It's a show. My buttons need to double take today. Hey, Denise. So, I'm ready. So, here's a painting. Like I said, I've done this before. But, there's a lot of people that haven't seen it, or maybe they want to revisit. There might be an old one, I don't know what I called it then, on my YouTube channel. And if you go over there, make sure that you subscribe. Because that's how I get new people. And I'm trying to build that page up. I have a lot of videos, but evidently that's not enough. There's 146 now, not including my private ones, which makes around 300. But evidently I gotta have 500 to get all the freebies. But I can do lives now. I just haven't been over there, so we will do that. It'll be on the easel with Diana, and I'm doing bigger paintings out there, which I will get back into. So I had a lot of stuff go on this year with this page, or this page and this group. So it got real complicated. Things are straightening out now, except for this laptop thing. So anyways, as anybody who's never done tracer, I'm going to show you. I'm doing this on an 8x10. And the tracer is actually, thank you. Doesn't take much to puff me up, so don't start. My daughter loves to do it. She's as conceited as me, so I puff her up. We just puff each other back and forth. Have a ball. Anyways, if you go over to the Artsy Rose group, I just put the link up. Up in the guide section, this is like in the first part, there's 24 tracers written in that one section. It's in there. It's been in there for a few years. So this is a tracer. And the thing is, I did this all in pinks and reds, but you can do this in any color you want. You could add more flowers. You can do what you want. But if anybody hasn't done a tracer, I'm going to flip this around so that people can see me do the tracer real quick. Because there's probably people out there that haven't seen it. I forget sometimes when I'm doing stuff. I've had people say, "What's a tracer?" So I'm going to do this real quick and show them. Hey, Lori, how you doing, girl? So, yeah, lots of snow there. Yeah, lots of snow here, too. I mean, like I walk out next to my driveway, and it's like in here somewhere, where the guy piles. I have a guy do it for me. I can't. I have a stroke. I can't do it. And I don't want to. All right, so I'm going to just turn this around real quick. Like I said, I'm going to have to turn it back and forth. If I miss anybody, I usually always comment and see what you guys have to say afterwards. Because I got my thing here, and it's putting me up on an old Facebook page I had. And then my laptop is just giving me issues. So I don't know. It seems to be all right, but I don't feel like messing with it. I'm just going to do it the old way. So here is it's an 8x10 little dollar store canvas, so I grabbed. And this would be great for a gift, guys. It's a nice little gift for somebody. I've done stuff like this for my granddaughter. She loves it. She got a new apartment, so she's always looking for little artworks and stuff. So she actually got another one, a bigger one. So anyways, this is ink paper or graphite paper. If you go to my group, they might even be in here, but I think it's just in my group. I have an Amazon store list. You just hit the link. You go up in the featured area at the top, same thing. Where the guides are, there's also a featured area. And you'll see I just bought a package of these. They're under $5. And I mean, if they last me a year, and I'm doing a lot of these shows, they're going to last you quite a while. So, and I reuse them. You put the ink side down. You pick this up Michael's too. And then you take your tracer, which you'd have to download. Unless you're going to freehand, you can do freehand too. That's basically all you do. Then you take a pencil or a stylus or whatever you have, a pen. I tend to do the pencil because I'm a moose and I am constantly ripping stuff. I do a lot of palette knife work, which we want to do some of that next week, I think. We're going to do that one big heart that like it's got runs in it and palette knife and it's like a wreath with a heart in it. It's really pretty. So I use a pencil for this. But you can use a pen, whatever you got. All right, so I'm just going to kind of just make some little circles right here because I'm going to do my own thing on that part. And I really want to get this in there pretty good. Oops. I already missed already. So yeah, it's snowing here again. It cleared up all day. I was so happy to see the sun. I mean, it's cold. My heat's been on like crazy. I'm going to have a bill from hell. But I just wanted to open the window and look outside, you know, so I got a screen door, so I, you know, glass door, so I had the door open for a while. Clean my rugs. There's salt, you know, I put salt down. So there's salt all through the front. Clean it up, did a little mopping. Felt so good, you know. I was busy all morning, though, downloading videos, and I'm having a party. I had to make a bunch of ads for my brother, and we're going to do it at his restaurant. And just stuff. Do my bills, you know. And I got to do the tracer in the class I'm doing tomorrow night. I had to look up some stuff. And just things. Mostly business. This is the best part, doing the artwork. Now on the other one, I put some little hearts in up here. You can do whatever you want. So that's basically it. You probably can't see it, so I'm going to darken this up a little bit for you. Let me get a pencil, or I get one of those like professional pencils too. This just makes it a little darker. So yeah, this is a pretty simple painting. Fun. I downsized, made it smaller last year. I know I was looking, and I did do the same design on like a card. So this would make a great little card. I'm just going to kind of smush that in. So just for composition, so I remember that it's there. Just darken this up so you can see a little bit. So Saturday, we're going to do another one of those art therapy cards. It's usually a little 10-minute project. And I'm debating, I have a few projects. Probably be something Valentine's Day that we can do. I'm still thinking about doing that one I told you about. It's kind of an abstract. I keep forgetting to bring it out here. I'm going to post it. It's really, really pretty. Different. Then I have another one that I want to do that has like a heart cloud sky, kind of a pinkish purple heart clouds, and then like plants in the bottom with little tulips that are shaped like hearts. So it's either that or the other. One of those we're going to do on Saturday. Chat and Create. 4 o'clock every Saturday in the group. And this is whatever you want to call it. Something creative. I forget. It's on every Thursday night at 7 o'clock. So anyways, I'm brain dead today. All right, so that's what we got. It's pretty simple, pretty basic. So I kind of filled it in. You could do, you know, when you do these tracers, the thing with these tracers is if you don't like, say you don't like a hat on something, or you don't like where the flowers are, you don't have to do them. Just like painting. I have a painting class. I say, if you don't want that line or you don't want that color, I bring a whole bunch of extra colors. You go up there and just use what you want. Same thing. You know, the idea is not only to get you to paint on these classes, you know, get you involved with your painting and try to keep up on it, but also to be creative. So if you don't like pink and you like blue, do blue, you know. If you want to make it multimedia, you could add stickers, you could add lace, you could add beads, you could add anything you want. So that's what's nice about this, you know, basically it's just a template to give you ideas. And basically it's kind of how I teach. I kind of tell everybody all the time, you know, do your own thing, use your own voice, you know. If you haven't got yellow and you don't want to go get yellow, well, use something else. You know, it's okay. Hey, Stacy girl. You watching the mermaid class? Yeah, do you see I put some new tracers? I put some more links in there for you guys. I put 6 in each, kind of pushing it. So I need to get more stuff out to you. It's going to be a while because there's 4 years of content there. So you're only going to get a few. every couple of weeks, so I'll do the best I can. Plus the new stuff, because I do, in my membership, you guys, I do a live class every 2 weeks. Wally World, my daughter bought it for me. She knows I like to have stuff to wear in these little things. Gets everybody's attention. I don't know where my glasses went. Oh, here's my glasses. I love these glasses. Look. Like Hello Kitty. Oh, it's so funny, right? Anyway, so let me put this back around. And let me pick some colors first. So I'm going to keep it in the pinks. I like pink. So I got, I'm like out of plates. I wanted to save those other plates. But I got, I use baking paper to do my tracers with. That's how I make them. And I put them on the ink. I put them on the copy paper, and then I make a JPEG out of them, and then I bring them over. Then I load them to my, where I keep all my stuff. So, but you can see I did a tracer with this, but I decided to start keeping the paper. And it's great. It's like if you ever bought that, I have a book somewhere. I don't know where it is. But it's palette paper. So this is like the same thing. And you can fold it over. But I put it in my cheap, no, should just knock my light out. Dollar Tree muffin holder. And I just put wet paper towels, put a piece of parchment paper, and you get yourself wet palette for like nothing. So then you just, now if you got the thick papers, you're going to wet this. If you got these thin craft papers, don't wet them because the water underneath is fine. So this is what I've been using. So I'm going to use it today, and it doesn't take up as much room, and I got to put my light back on. Something going on with this light now. I think it's a cord. I have another one of these, but I didn't feel like transferring them around. Well, I got this little tiny trailer. It's just me, and I do have more time, Oh, thank Kat, than I used to. I used to work 2 jobs, ran a business, took care of a sick husband, a sick mother, a sick mother-in-law. So, yeah, I was busy, and didn't have much time for housework, that's for sure. So I had a lot to do after he died, and I didn't want to do that either. So, and now I'm at that age where, like, the only people that really ever come around is people I know good. So what do I care? If you don't like it, you pick it up. I had told people for dinner, and they didn't care what the house looked like. Of course, it's a nice new trailer, but, it's kind of small. But I love it. I love this little trailer. Anyways, so let's pick out some colors. This is violet. This is pretty violet. It's called Gentle Heather. These are some of their new Deco Art colors. I whacked my finger, but I whacked my finger. I didn't say finger. I'm sorry. It's his finger, though. I have a mandolin, which I use for different things. I like to can, and I do my pickles and stuff and different things with it. And on my rack, I have copper pans, and I have them all hanging on these little metal hooks I bought. Well, I put my mandolin on there. It hasn't been a problem. Well, I got a bag full of, I love my Oriental food, and I have a bag of fancy noodles up there. And I had it hanging next to it, and I went to get into the bag, and I went right across the top of it, where the thing is, whacked my finger. Oh, heart. Oh, I'd rather have a baby. Oh, my God, it hurt. So it's fine, but I got to wear stuff on. I have to keep changing it. When I take a shower, I have to wear a glove. Weird, right? Anyways, yeah, that was a good. So that was start of a good day yesterday. Okay, so I think I'm going to use that purple, and I like this pink. These 2 pinks. This pink I love. It's a new one called Love Potion. We're using this in our painting tomorrow night, Stacy. It's like a pinkish purple, almost like this thing, like a pinkish purple, huh? So I think that'll look good, right? So we'll use this for the background instead of the red. We'll use some of this purple, and I got to get me a pink, so I need pink. So I thought I was out of pink, and I'm laying in my bed. This is my bedroom, by the way. This is in the corner. And I have another room, but I haven't gotten to it. And there's this whole, like, wall of paints that I bought. It's a shoe rack. So I'm laying in the bed, and I'm looking over. And there's, like, 10 things of pink, but they're all the way to the bottom because I don't want to bend over. So I had plenty of pink. So I had this huge thing of paint. I have buckets of paint. And I just bought a whole new paint for the paint party. There's a box of paints out there. My granddaughter says, Donna, you've got too much paint. So we can never have enough paint or brushes. I bought new brushes too. We get a deal half off once a month, so you should take advantage of that, right? So I'm gonna need paint for this paint party that I'm doing, so I ordered a bunch of paint, and they had a good sale. I don't know what pink I want. Sometimes when you're not sure what to use, you know, if you haven't took a lot of color theory, then you should like put things together and say, well, these look good together. Then you can make up your mind. Whereas like if you got a color wheel, you could take the wheel and you could say, like if this is the complementary color, this is a purple, this color. What looks good with this purple is usually right across from it. Anything in this range, green to yellow, will look good with purple. So a lot of colors are a combination of both colors, so you can get away with 2 or 3 colors. So that's one way to do it. And I just find a lot of times that like if all pales go with pales, muted tones go with muted tones, jewel tones go with jewel tones, they just look good together. I mean, not that you can't break the rules like they do with like abstract, but a lot of times just put them together, put them in front of you, and say, those two look kind of good together, right? These look good together, right? And that's how you figure it out. Pretty simple, huh? I make it complicated. The thing is, like when I first learned how to paint, there was not all this stuff. There was all this wonderful stuff now. The only thing you can do is sell a painting, and now you can have online classes, you can sell artwork, you can sell, you know, you have t-shirts made. I had a couple t-shirts made a while ago. Purses, you could do so much with the business now. You couldn't, there was nothing. There was not much unless you sold paintings and you had to tour the country, or you had to get, you had to get, licensed into a professional museum, or tenured or whatever. So now you can do all this extra stuff. And the thing is with the paints, is instead of learning how to do all that mixing, there is every paint color in the freaking world you can get now. So it's a good thing if you're not like, some people are just not good color people. Some people are good drawers, same thing. So don't worry about being stressed out about paint because there's just so many. Yeah, I know. It's like I try not to order stuff. But like when I do a class, you're teaching like, say I get 20 people. I hope I don't get that many. And it's all the same colors. Well, I have to make sure I got enough of each color. And depending on what it is, sometimes you can get things in bigger bottles. Sometimes you can't. Sometimes I can't get the deco art in a big bottle. And like, deco art does come in this size, but not all their colors come in this size. Not all of them. And they run out. They're very popular. So I am trying to make sure I get all the colors I need. There's only 5 colors in that painting, but I think only 2 did they have the full bottle. So I buy a whole bunch of little ones, which is actually good because, they pour their own and they make a mess. And I'm so worried. And it's happened. People will dump a whole bottle on them, or the place, I want to go back to the place, my brother's place. I don't want paint all over the floor and they won't invite me back. You know what I mean? So I worry about the size of the bottle. Sometimes like I have a kid help me. I'll say, don't let them touch the paint. I'll say it's okay, but I don't really want them to touch the paint. Is it? Yeah, I got like all kinds of brushes. Oh, I like brushes though. I still love these little, you guys ever seen these rake brushes? Me and Kathy like these rake brushes. All right, so I'm gonna turn this around. All right. So here's my little parchment paper. So if you guys use these for anything you got left over that's not cooked, I would use it for a palette paper. I cut it down, so I cut little circles. Any way you want. So I want to do the background in this love potion. Whoever thinks these names up must make a fortune. They must make a fortune. Like the people that, you guys ever heard of OPI polish? Some of them names are so funny. And it's like somebody gets paid to sit around and make these names up. Somebody probably make big bucks too, you know what? My light's ready to go. I was flickering over here. There's something wrong with the cord. I'm rocking the table and it's like rocking. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to use this purple too on the inside, I think. Where am I going to use this other color? I can use it for the roses, right? Got the roses too. I need white too. Gonna need white. So this one is called Gentle Heather. And this one's called Tea Berry, which I just love. I ordered, I have 2 rose bushes I ordered. They're like a kind of a creamy tangerine and white. I love, that's one of my favorite. I'm thinking about doing my, either my kitchen or my dining room. My old house, it was a big old antique house, so it was like a bright orange, but this is really a prettier color than a bright orange. But I think it would look good in a small space too. Okay, let's see. A little bit of white. My sriracha bottle. I need more of these sriracha bottles. Usually it'll come right on the top, but I got it all plugged up again. This paint gets stiff on the top. Yeah. Yeah, so I was going to try to wear something else so I don't get paint on my shirt here, but I am so freaking cold. I got the heat as high as I'm going to put it. I like my heat at 69, so, you know, I don't want any warmer than that, any colder than that, or any warmer than that, yeah. So, okay, so, got 2 purples, kind of a peach, and a white. We're going to need green for the leaves, too. So, I'm going to do this whole background in the purple, and I'm just going to get some kind of a flat brush just to cover more area. You know, I'm all for, like, you know, big brushes, big area, small brushes for small area. Basically, because if you do a whole bunch of small strokes, it just looks terrible. Whereas if you do bigger, smoother strokes, now if you're pretty quick, you do the small ones, you can go over them with a big brush. If you're worried about hitting anything on the painting, you know, if you're worried about hitting any lines. But I don't worry about it too much because I know I can come back and adjust that. So, and I can make highlights and stuff if I need to, and that'll kind of fix the problem. But see, a bigger brush, you don't get as many lines. Whereas if you get a smaller brush, you're going to get a lot of lines. Actually, I could go a little bit bigger. Well, this might be all right. This paint's a little transparent, but that's okay because I can do two coats, or you could add a little white to this too, but I think I'm going to leave this dark purple because I want it darker. Yeah, so I just been busy doing my business today because then I can do that class. I get everything ready for the class tomorrow, and I know pretty much what I'm going to do Saturday. So I want to run some other errands. Well, it was nice today. I did yesterday. I did a few things, but had a doctor's appointment. But you know, you got to grab it while it's good. So go down there and look at the room they're going to give me. So I want to see what it looks like. I might not go down there till Sunday because now it's snowing again. It's like a light snow, but it's white out there. So not good, right? Yeah, got quite a bit again. My daughter is getting hammered. She lives up near the lake up there. They are 3, 4, 5 feet. I mean, it's just unbelievable. Luckily, she's laid off right now. She's a nurse. They laid her off at the hospital, which is not unusual. And she's staying home for a while, she said. So, okay. She don't get much time off when she's working, so she's loving it. Well, she'd rather be working, but, you know. The healthcare system's having problems, so, you know. So she is home watching her grandchildren. So she ain't worried about her being on the roads. My grandchildren live way up north, and I'm like, don't even tell me unless there's a problem, because I'd be a wreck thinking about, they live up close to that, and they're getting hammered too, and I'm like, oh, God, don't tell me. I don't want to know. My babies. My babies. I just have the 2 here, and I have 1 down in New York, so, you know, they've been with me since they were little. She was divorced, and I watched them while she was a nurse, while she worked nights, and, you know, when you first start nursing, you don't get the good shifts. So they've been with me a long time. Yeah. The other one, I mean, I talked to her on Facebook, and they calm down. And she's a doll, but her mother doesn't like her face on Facebook because, you know, these perverts now. So I'm not allowed to put her on there. I can put her artwork and I'll show her like my friends, you know, some of you guys are close to. But I can't put her out in the public because she has a heart attack. And I can't blame her, you know, all this stuff that's going on right now. I get it. I so get it. Yep. I get it. And this is a pretty purple. I got a lot of lines though. It's okay. It's okay. So we're going to put another coat in. I think I used a bigger brush. Isn't that pretty purple? Love Potion. We'll do that again. Let me rinse this brush up, see who's on here. Thanks for the tip, Kathy. Thank you so much. Oh, always appreciate the tips. I seen one of my friends, Jamie, on her site. She has the Stars thing, and she has another one where you can donate $5 for coffee. I'm like, how did she do that? I gotta figure that out. I haven't so many things to do with Facebook, but I thought that's a good idea. You know, that's what it is for a cup of coffee now, $3 to $5. I go down and I go to the drive-thru at, I just get a small with cream. That's it. It's $3 and something. Now, I remember getting coffee. I'm old. For a dime. I took a quarter with me. I was in beauty school. There was a bum outside. So I go and get my coffee for a dime. I get a donut for a nickel, and I give him a dime. And he didn't leave me alone. He was there every freaking morning. I says, why does he do this? I says, she was dying. He shouldn't have gave me any money. So now I give her a quarter every time I come to school. I went to professional school. Isn't that funny? Oh, my God. There used to be one at the drive-thru, too, the Dunkin' Donuts, when I lived in the north side. And same thing, you know. She didn't want money. She said, get me a hot with this or that. And I couldn't understand what she was saying. So the girl knew that at the drive-thru. She said, I know what she wants. And then, you know, I'd pay her. I'm a sucker. Anyway, so now I get this pretty purple. You never know. Someday it might be me. Never know, right? You never know. I don't think so, but, you know, you never know. Okay. You never know. All right, so I'm going to do the inside of that with that, the lighter pink next. Same thing. I got me a kind of a flat brush, not too big, not too small. Where'd it go? Okay, he's right here. Same one. Wiping it on my apron. So now I found my brushes for my paint party. So now I gotta find I found my easels. I had to give her one to put I took a painting to the place so they could prop it up when people come in to eat. And I'm hoping I get quite a few, but I just want to see how many I got. I know I'm short because when that car went through my house, that was the room. It hit that. Well, actually, the painting party stuff was in the closet, and it all got knocked into the basement. That's where they found my granddaughter on the floor. I don't want to get all morbid and stuff, but it was pretty scary. But I had backup ones I bought from the guy that closes painting with a twist. I bought a bunch of stuff off him. And they were all beat up. They were old, but they were good. They were wood ones, but they had paint all over, but I didn't care. So, anyways, isn't that pretty? It's a pretty combination, right? Colors, right? Let's see. I was going to do the light purple. I don't know how I did the orange, but that's okay. So we can just do the light purple around the edges. We're going to fix that purple first. I just grabbed the wrong color because I'm talking. You shouldn't talk in paint. Every time I do one of those paint parties, I never get the painting finished. I always bring the painting that we're going to do so they can see. And that's usually the nicest one. And I raffle it off at the end. Or sometimes, if it's a wedding party, I'll give it to the bride. Or sometimes, if it's a charity thing, I'll give it to the person who's ever running the charity. So something like that. But I always bring little gifts anyway, so everybody. The lady that's at my brother's place, she's coordinate this whole thing. I gave her a painting. She liked that cow one. You guys have seen that, what is that cow? Oh, what's it called? You know, with the really pretty cow. Yeah, I'm going to add a little bit of white to this, I think, just a tad, because it's not covering real good. A little bit of this lighter purple and a darker purple and some white. See if I can get this to cover a little bit better. It'll be lighter, but that's okay. Yeah, it's covering better. And so I have something stinking in my front room, which sounds crazy, but I'm losing my mind. I went and mopped the whole kitchen, mopped the front room, moved my couch, which wasn't easy because I'm old. There's a few food things. That's where I eat sometimes, crackers. So. And there was a bunch of bags from shopping, so I stuffed all those in there. And there's something, it smells a lot better, but something died in my front room. Something died, and I can't get rid of the smell. I got candles going. I had this fancy spray. I cleaned it. Oh, do you ever have that happen where you just can't figure out what it is? It's driving you nuts. Highland, it's Highland. It's just driving me nuts. Oh, you ain't gonna send me a tip for coffee. It's okay. I just gotta figure there's a way to do it because Jamie Norvell, when you know how you see my thing at the top, it says tips. Well, she has another one on the bottom. It says, if you like coffee and you want to buy me a coffee, just hit this link. You hit the link and there's a thing on there with a cup of coffee. It says $5. I'm like, oh, I don't know how she did that. I ain't. Well, that's, I don't know if it's a good thing or not, but you ever like not feel like your age? Some days I don't feel like it. Today I don't feel like it. I feel pretty good. The night before I didn't get much sleep though, so I wasn't feeling too good. But I had to catch up. You guys, because I was way behind because all that stuff with the videos last year, and then I got hacked. You know, and now this stupid snow. Every time I go somewhere, it's like a project. An hour and a half getting out of the driveway. Well, the guy comes and does it. The other day he was late. And I didn't have anything going on that day, but I needed the car wiped off because I had to be up the next morning to go to that doctor's appointment. And it was like 10 after I see he was over. He must work for the park too. And he was plowing. And man, it was cold. And there was a lot of snow. He says, well, I had to see because I called you. I didn't put my number in his phone, so I won't pick up, you know, sometimes. So I didn't even see it. So he said his hands are real cold. I felt so bad for him. I didn't think he had gloves. So I went and I looked for gloves. I went back out there, he had gloves. I just hasn't given him some gloves. So anyways, he was freezing. He had to have been freezing out there all day doing that. Could you imagine? Oh. And he had he has a plow and stuff, but you know he's still pushing it. And yeah, it's not good weather. This is stroke. We call this stroke weather up here, Kat. Guys, we call this stroke weather. You gonna figure it out for me? Okay. But I thought it was a good idea. I said that's a good idea. So I'm gonna ask her because we're actually Thursday. Friday I'm gonna be in a Zoom with her. I want to like fix up my emails a little bit better. I did one for the party, but I don't do them enough. And I don't, you know, here I'm on here acting like an idiot 3 nights a week. And, you know, I talk to you guys, I come on and off and do mail and stuff. Yet for me to write an email, it's torture. I can't explain it. And I write my words how I talk. I'm very New Yorker, very cut off. I interrupt people, very New Yorker like. And I'm trying to write these emails, and so then I had a couple of times I had the AI do it. I don't like it. I mean, it just doesn't sound authentic. So I'm going to talk to her about that. She wants to, and that's something I need help with. I just can't. I can't write. I don't know. My own daughter's a writer, right? I can't. My daughter is at NYU. She's a writer, poet writer. So I mean, really, she really is. She's been getting awards for that since she was a kid. She's a good writer. So me, I can't. I can paint your pants off, but I can't. So I got to talk to you about that. I don't know. You need to be consistent. I think I would get more people, but it's like you hate it, so you can't really get into it. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, you don't like something, you're like, I don't want to. So I started off doing like 1 a week. Then it was like 2 a month, and then once a month, and then only when I need it. Yeah, this tea berry is that orange. Yes, that's tea berry. It's not a mouse. It's a brand new trailer. There's not a mouse. I think either me or the kids ate something, maybe a hot dog, and it rolled under the couch, but I can't move that couch all the way out. It might be nothing. It might be me because I'm nuts, right? I can't stand. You know, I used to smoke, and I quit like 10 years ago. Actually, I quit like 20 times, but technically I quit 10 years ago. And now my nose is so good, and I don't like odors. You know, I don't wear a lot of perfume. I don't wear a lot of anything that's smelly. I don't like it. So, you know, I don't know what it is, but it's driving me bananas. It's making me crazy. All right. They take a good piece. Everybody does. Everybody gets a piece. PayPal gets a piece. They all get a piece. Everybody. Facebook is the only thing that's free, but they're better to you when you do this. Yeah. Oh, girl, you gotta stop smoking. I'll tell you that. You know, it's funny about me quitting smoking. I had quit many times. The doctor said, how often did you want to quit smoking? I said, every time I lit up. I said, is that bad? That's how bad of an addiction it is. And I went to this program through the Cancer Society thing, where actually I go to get checked every 6 months now. And she said that, you know, it's hard for everybody, but anybody that's in my age group, they really did do stuff to those. It's a permanent thing in our brain. It's permanent. She says, so anybody that comes in here and tells me that during the 70s and 80s they started smoking or they were smoking still, they did stuff to it, just like they're doing stuff to our food. You probably don't think that's real. I like call it sciencey shit. And I read all that, and the same people that bought the cigarette companies now own the food companies. The same scientists, same people, you know, ConAgra, all of them. So she said they actually physically did something to you, and that's why some people it was so hard, especially if you came out of that age group. Now, isn't it interesting? I mean, she knew a lot. So I take this breathalyzer thing, and I was pretty higher than I thought. And we just talked a couple times a week, you know, and every time I was tempted and what my triggers were, and she put me on everything. You know, I always thought if you just did the gum, you were fine. Some people, the more addicted you are, the more stuff you need. And then you start weaning off that instead of the cigarettes. And then you always keep extra stuff around. I don't do it anymore because I don't even think about it. Don't even think about it. So I keep the extra stuff. I used to keep extra stuff like in the car, like, you know, lozenges, you know, nicotine. And I never used them. I do think you got to be in the right mood. But I smoked for a long time, you know, so. Will it really? What's it called? Buy Me a Coffee? Is that the name of it? Just say yes. Is that the name of it? Oh, to my website. Oh, no, a website is, Facebook is a website. I could add to Facebook. Yeah, that's what she did. Well, I gotta go look now. What's the name of that again? Let me write that down. Buy me a copy. I just thought it was cute. So it's an app. Must be an app, right? Yeah, it must be an app. I'm gonna say it's an app. All right. Just add it to my website. I'm gonna try. I was thinking, I went and I looked in the stars section because they do have. I was thinking she probably had to build. You know, we build stuff. You just don't go there and do stuff because they want you to specialize it. So I was. It would be easier just to get an app or something, just put it in there, opposed to having to build the whole thing like you do an email. Another reason I don't like to do an email is you have to do each individual section. You know, you see it along when I put on there for the paint party. Each section on there has to be put in. And I don't like to type, so it's not easy. Oh, okay. All right. Now let me turn this back around. So, yeah. Oh, it's always something, right? It's like I got quite a bit done yesterday and today as far as the business goes, you know. I try to get, like, as much as I can done before Sunday. Sunday's actually a trash day, but I don't put it out till Monday morning, but I like to get a few things done around the house, you know. And it's kind of my day off, Sunday and Monday. Usually Mondays I, you know, run errands, you know. I make most of my appointments Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday because if my daughter's coming, that's when she comes. I'm still putting this on a little bit of white. I kind of filling these lines with the big brush, see what I'm doing, smoothing it in. Yeah, she comes down. She was exhausted this week. She couldn't come. I says, you know something? That girl needs a vacation. She looked a lot better. Having some problems with her hair. I think it's premenopausal or perimenopausal. She's like me. She never had a lot of hair. But she's using all these products. And when I was doing hair, there's all this stuff coming out. I gotta add more color about every company and their brothers being sued. I had clients all of a sudden, and I use good stuff like Chi and stuff, and it's expensive even for me. And they're complaining their hair was itching and coming out, and I thought this started happening to me, so they changed something. Well, then it started being the show used to use the Treasure Mate because it was a little less expensive, and they could buy it if they'd want to buy it at the salon. And I stopped selling so much stuff because, you know, I just sit there. I didn't want to do that. It's just me, you know, a couple of girls. So all of a sudden, all these different things happen. So if you read up on it, a lot of the products have monopolized. They bought each other out. So some, even like, you know, Whole Foods, that's all not all natural anymore. I mean, they got bought up at the big company. You know, they're looking to cut corners and make a profit. So anyways, long story short, she cut using everything. Her hair looks better. She used diaper rash on her scalp. I says, don't use Head and Shoulders, which I've always used when I'm itchy, but you're not supposed to use that forever. It's only if you have a really severe scalp problem. And she doesn't have that. She doesn't have seborrhea and all that. It'd be like raised skin, pink parts. You know, it really looks like sores. And she don't have that. It's just it itches. So I said, that's an allergy, dear. You got to stop. Whatever you're using, stop it, because I've had it happen. So her hair was like thinning out. So anyway, she did her hair the other night. She used some baby rash cream, which worked. Her hair looks so much better. Her curl it took all her curl out. She has natural curly hair like me. I says, there's something wrong. Plus, she was stressed right out. She got a lot of sleep and stuff. So says, you don't need to come down here every week if you got stuff going on. But with this weather, it's been crazy. All right, so again, that's a lot darker, right? It looks better, right? Yeah, it looks a lot better. Actually, I think I'm going to go over. I think I want this. By mistake, I put that orange in. I'm going to go over it with this light purple and some white. So I really wanted the purple in there. So I'm going to take that purple. I'm going to just go with this orange. This is the best thing about, you can't really do this with, I mean, you can with oil paint, but you got to know what you're mixing. You got to know your colors real good, and what to layer over top, what to put glazes on, because you can really mess yourself up. It turns into a big pot of mud. But the best thing about acrylics is you can go over something and change color anytime you want. Once it's dry, you can change it. And sometimes it gives it a cool little glow when you put different color behind it. I tell people when they do an underpainting, like if you're going to do a painting all in yellows, it's all warm colors, you want to tone it down, you could start off with some cool colors like a blue, and then paint over it with your yellows and your golds. And you'll get this nice warm undertone. You won't see it, but it'll be there. It gives it some depth. We're talking some real deep stuff here, but I think you know what I mean. No. So let this dry a little bit. Yeah, it's like, I was out the window. I'm like, son of a gun. So then I go up there again. I'm doing stuff in the kitchen. And look again, now it's this big white out. It's fluffy white. It's blowing around. The wind's really chucking around there today. Let me go around this a little bit. Let me just kind of go around. Now you could just paint this right over. Paint it right in if you want to. And then use a Posca pen if you haven't got no patience or you're shaky. Just a good thing about those Posca pens, and they are acrylic. But make sure that the acrylic that you have is dry. Because if you don't, you got a problem. I ruined one pen because of it. But if you get some wet acrylic on it, you can just dip it in water real fast and wipe it off. Or a little alcohol. I always keep alcohol on my thing here. Will work too. Just get as close as you can. Ain't got to be perfect here. Close as you can. I'm on that computer a lot, I'll tell you. I really shouldn't complain because it's not the worst thing in the world. But it's funny because I dreaded doing that. I made the ad. It was the easiest it ever been for me because it took a lot of years to learn all that stuff. But they've changed the automation. I mean, people complain about AI, but let me tell you something. It took a lot less time to make that ad than it ever has. But I know a lot now. Before, I didn't know what I was doing. And the easiest thing, which was always the hardest before, is putting your URL in, like the pay link. It used to be you had to go down the side and you had to have there's a certain code, and then you put the URL in. Well, now I can just paste the link right in there. You did paste it before, but you had to have a special section. I'm like, where's the section? I'm looking for the section. Well, so let me just try pasting it down where I paid. So they have changed a lot of stuff. So it took me a lot less time, probably an hour and a half. It used to be like, it was like I had to call the company, get some help, and I don't know what the hell they're talking about. Funny stuff, right? They put you on prednisone. Well, that's probably from the cold, because I've been walking cold since I was a kid, long before I started smoking. So I probably got some allergy issues there anyways. But everybody smoked back then too, by the way. They had people smoked at my station. They had little ashtrays on the station, and they built them right in. And everywhere you went, barbershops, store, people be smoking a cigarette while they're checking you out. I mean, it was everywhere. And I remember my grandmother always chucking little tissues in my arms like this. I walked around with tissues all the time. Got a tissue? Yeah, I got tissue. So that's what she did, because I always was running my nose. But it isn't just that, because I was reading this article about COPD and emphysema and all that. And they were saying that this one doctor, that's all she does, she says she can tell what type of COPD they have simply by the job that they did. And more women get it. And in my field, years ago with the coal tars and stuff, it was a problem because they started letting hairdressers retire in Europe at 58 because there was so many lawsuits because of the chemicals they used in hair color and, peroxide and all that stuff. Now, mind you, you're putting it on your head. But I was using it 8 to 10 times a day, depending on a weekend, right? So, and I had two friends, definitely, that died from bladder cancer, which is caused by hair color. But it's because they say keep gloves on. It's impossible to do all of it with just gloves. I mean, you do use it, but you're going to wash their hair and stuff, so you're going to get on you. So long story short, she could actually tell, like my father doesn't have it, but he did car parts for a long time. His hands, he did like transmissions as a mechanic. His hands are so ate up. He's always having problems when he can barely move them and stuff. Working in the cold, those cold garages and tearing parts with all those chemicals they use to clean. They use to clean with chemicals. They don't use water. So depending on what type of work you want in, and same thing with like even nursing, you do nursing, there's a lot of chemicals involved in that too. A lot of, formaldehyde. You can't smell it, but it's there. You got a long driveway too, Stacy. That's a long driveway. That's a big driveway. Oh, I couldn't do that. Oh, I have somebody doing mine now. I did it last year, and I don't know how I did it. Yeah, I only get the one can to put out. Sometimes it depends on who's home. Sometimes they'll drag it back up for me. I'll leave it out there, though. If I don't feel like going, I ain't going down and getting it. I ain't got that far to go. The lady across me, hers is like this way. It said mine's like on a corner. Hers is like this, so it's just like she walks up the door and brings it in. Me, I got to walk down the end of the driveway and then drag it back up, In the snow, I had all I could do to get it out the other day. Sometimes all I had was one bag. You lost 10 pounds? Oh, good for you. That's the best thing about, when I had that COVID, I lost some weight. I lost like 5 pounds, 6 pounds. I lost a little bit of weight. It's like, that's the only advantage of being sick. No, you don't. I didn't even have a bad one. They told me it came up, I had COVID, but it said that I had some kind of coronavirus. And I guess he said it's one of the original ones, but I was sick. So I was like, and I haven't had it the whole time. It's all this stuff's been knock on wood. I haven't had it the whole time, right? My grandchildren coming in, they're trying to avoid me, Yeah, well, that's what they told me. She says, because that's not why I went. I finally wanted to quit. And I do a long x-ray every year because I smoked and everything's fine. But, there's a couple nodes there, but a lot of people have nodes. So she says that could have been having a cold because I had a lot of colds. I just had a lot of colds. Yeah. Like I said, it's just me. Sometimes, like, I just go out there, see if I have anything in there, and then other times I'll have more boxes. I have art supplies coming a lot, so you get the boxes. But, and I'm still like, I got another box ready to go to something. I'm still like trying to get rid of my stuff. I lived in 30 years, and we were married almost 46 years. Lived in 3 different places in the city. We moved 11 times. He was in the Navy, and I had a lot of shit. And I still got stuff that I'm having a hard time parting with it. And I know I could sell some stuff, probably like on Poshmark or something, but I'm still going through stuff, And another thing is I keep thinking those clothes are going to fit me. Those clothes are never going to fit me. So I got rid of a lot of them. But now I got a lot of big clothes and I'm losing weight. And I told my daughter, she works at Marshall's, always buying stuff. She finds deals. Get good deals at Marshall's. And I'm like, don't buy me anything else. I am losing some weight. Don't buy me nothing, Anyway, so let me put this light pink in. So I don't usually have too much, And I'm big on trying not to use and reusing stuff and, trying to be conscious of the environment. And there's still more things I could do, but, yeah. All right, so we got that all colored in. I'm going to go over this with a white first, right? Let's do this in white. Start it, and then I'm going to do the flowers next. That way, if I hit it with the flowers, I can go back and do it. So I'm just going to start filling that in. I'm going to get a round brush. You guys know what a round brush? Well, I get a small round, or like a liner. Like this is like a liner because it has less hairs and it's usually pretty long, or what they would call a rigger. You guys know what a rigger is, right? My people should know what a rigger is. My older people. Lori and Kat been with me since the beginning. They're glutton for punishment. There's some. I gotta put some purple in here too, but I'm just gonna do this first. Yeah, right from the beginning. Yeah. Still gotta mess with our site and the other group there because I just time issue. I got a lot of it done though. I had to really push myself. Just keeping up with the YouTube things is a project, because it's going to be, the 30th tomorrow. And I had to get your two, and then I did the one I did for the, Word of the Year thing. And then I had, I think 8 or 9 on here on the group. So I got those done. I actually ended up not keeping 2 of them. They weren't that good. And I've done it before. So that was 7, 8, 9. I know there was like 10 videos. It sounds easy, but you got to download them first off Facebook. And for some reason this happens. They weren't like in the section in the back in the meta. I had to go to each and scroll down through our groups and get them. And after I got them, then I had to download them into my computer. And then you go to YouTube and you hit create button and you download them into that. And you got to wait and you got to make them private until they check them, make sure there's nothing, bad. And after they do that, you got to wait. And then I can make them public or unlisted or whatever I'm going to do with them. So anyways, it's I did half yesterday and finished the other part this morning. So yeah. I mean, not complaining. I'm drinking coffee and eating snacks. I mean, I'm good. Nice cozy day. I wasn't going anywhere anyways. Yeah. But, they take them out. I mean, they take them out too. I get like a notice. I have one this morning. Every day I get one. I say, do you want this video? Luckily, I remember a lot of them because now they're all like current videos, where before I was like, oh, I don't know. So I think I got most of them. So every now and then, if I'm not sure, I have to go back and look. And sometimes it's not worth the aggravation. I just say, no, keep it. But most of the time I know now because I know what I did for the month or last couple months. So I'm just filling this in with my little tiny brushy brush here. The thing is, when you're using these small brushes, if the brush gets dry, it's going to drag. So sometimes you want to wet the brush a lot because there's just not that many hairs. Then just dab it and then go back into your purple and roll. Roll your brush, roll it, and you get a nice point to it. You'll find that it covers better. Little tricky trick. Like I said, you could color this whole thing in and just come back and use the Posca pen. Yeah. So this will make a cute little thing for like a little girl or a teenager. I gave one, like I said, I gave my granddaughter, she went for a part. And they could put it up for Valentine's Day. Or you could do this on the front of a card too. Do it smaller. If you can do freehand, it would be cool. Put your pinky down, or the side of your hand, pinky better, and you'll find that you'll have a little more control. Hold your breath if you have to. Do that too. Doing small detail work, sometimes you gotta do that. Till you get more confident, I guess. All right, so that's better. I think I might need a bigger O there, though. I think I need a bigger O. Let's kind of fix this O up a little bit. Yeah, that's better. All right, so I'm going to go on the outside of this with some white, too. Same thing. might even go over some of this with my Posca pens, just kind of smooth things out a little bit. Yeah, we get some serious snow. Oh, God. That was the best thing we did was hire that guy. Oh, he's been so sweet. He's over here 3-4 times a day. I mean, he really does it. I was like so happy. He does the stairs and everything. Yeah. One day I had so much snow on there. Oh my God. Yeah, I don't have good shoulders from doing hair, so I asked him if he would do it. I gave him like a 10. Just, it's like, give me a little money. He did. He knocked it all off for me. So it was just too much for me that day. There was a lot. Just wiping the car up is enough, I want to get one of those things you put in your windshield. I see a couple of people around here got them. Now, I'm a little bit more out in the country now, so I think that's maybe why there's so much more snow. That's what I'm thinking. We got a lot of snow in the city and stuff, but I think it's more opened up here, and there's the fields, and you get the wind blowing, you know what I mean? Because you can really hear it. I mean, I couldn't hear it in my old house because it's a big old house, a 100-year-old house. It's a big 4-bedroom house, so here I can really hear it. A little scary. So I'm going to smooth out, take some of this more purple, and I got this flat brush again, and I'm going to come through here and just kind of blend in some more of this purple right here. If you let it dry, you can do that sometimes. You just keep going over it. Just be careful. Big old house. This is my house, though. I'm glad I don't live there, though, because of the utility bills. I don't know what the heck is going on. I joined this group. Ever since they put those new meters in, if you guys ask you if you want a meter, tell them no. I kind of I didn't know exactly what they were doing. They said we're going to do the meter, and I think I told them okay. And I didn't know what they meant. And next thing you know, there's this new meter out there. So my bill it tripled since last year. And I have nobody living here. Last year I had people living here, I mean, my grandchildren come do their laundry and stuff like that, and she stayed 1 week, but yes, I don't know what the next one's going to be. My heat was off for 2 weeks, but I was using, it's the electric, not the gas. I was using my, all my electric stuff, so I don't know. We'll see. I even ran the dryer. It was just so cold. It's colder this week than last week, though. Oh, my God, it's cold. I mean, I keep the heat at 69, and every now and then I got to put one of those things on, So just kind of fixing this up a little bit here. All right, so we got that done. I'm going to start doing the flowers. Hey, Brenda Marie. Yes. Oh, a lot of people are coming up with some creative ways, but one guy was saying, we had a pellet stove because we got sick of the bills. We kept, you keep buying stuff. You insulate. We bought the pellet stove, put windows in the basement, all that kind of stuff, rolled up some in the attic, insulation. And the bill kept still going up. It's like you can't win. So it's like you spend $4,000 and your bill went up $1,000 that year. And every year it goes up, you spend a little more money. So then you go and I went and I got all the light bulbs. And I saw a difference like $30, $40 a month. You're getting all the special light bulbs. But the light bulbs weren't cheap. They said they last 5 years. A lot of them didn't last 5 years, And then all the chemicals, you had to practically wear a hazmat suit to get rid of the damn things, which I finally gave up on. So, the whole thing is just a freaking joke. It's all about this. It's all about making money. That's all it is. So, they're blaming it on the AI, but that we got a new micron plant here. It's a big deal here. We needed the jobs. And they are going to put in their own AI center. And they said they're paying for it, but I don't know, because whenever they'll probably do, they're going to pay for it, then they'll get subsidies. Just like they do when they put in new malls. Oh yeah, the city will no rent for 20 years, so this big mall we got here, now they don't want to pay rent. All of a sudden they're not making no money. 20 years is making plenty of money as long as you didn't have to pay no bills on it, So isn't it crazy? It's just insane. Yeah, I mean, and my bill, I'm complaining about it, but I'm hearing people that had $200 last month and $1,500 this month. The NSEG, it's a group, NYSEG. Mine's National Grid, which is part of it's New York State. I don't know where you are, but a lot of the mid-states are going to be hit worse than us, and we're getting hit bad because of the weather, too. The weather is colder. It's been a long time. So, I mean, I'm not making that up. Stuff's just going on. You know, those meters are a joke. Well, my furnace is gas. My gas bill's lower. But it's not the problem. The problem is delivery charges. So I use like $60 in gas, and they charged me $140, $150 for delivery. It was more than that. It was like double. I mean, what the heck? So that is profit. And then they keep saying that, you know, they do all this new stuff, and they do stuff after storms and everything. But as far as doing new stuff, I don't see it, and everybody's talking about that. So they got a hold of Hucho, or whatever the name of the government is, and all this stuff's going on. So they said they're going to do class action. So you want to join? I said, yeah, I do. If I get some money back, I'm joining. NSEG, it's a group. Yeah, nature, that's another thing. So these people got pellet stoves, and the one was talking about, should I get a pellet stove or should I get a fireplace? The problem with the fireplace is, and the wood's expensive now. If you haven't got a good, like if you don't have woods in your backyard, you got to season it and all that, then it's really not a good deal. But on the other hand, Bella pellet stove's expensive too. I mean, you know, you still got, we go through like, on like a pallet of like every year, you know, it's not cheap. So you can't win, you know. Yeah, it's just crazy. I don't know what they're going to do about it, but I don't understand why I could pay $100 last winter and I'm paying $300 now. Doesn't make, it's just me, you know, just me. I do one load a week, so then I stopped using my dishwasher so much. I'm living in the freaking dark. I got all like LED lights. Some of them are plant lights. I got them all hooked up. I'm using them. The burnt candles, you know. I kind of like it though when it's a little dim like that, but it's just not right. But it depends, like, because they haven't. Do you? Yeah. They haven't hit every area yet, evidently. They're just like moving around. So I don't know who knows how that works. And Mr. Global, you guys ever watch his reels? He owned three oil companies. He has one now. And he does, like, he goes in for these companies and tells them how to set it up and everything. So if you ever watch him, he does reels, Mr. Global. He knows a lot about it. A lot of people thought he was full of crap. So he started listing off his credentials. The man knows his crap. And he said 2 years ago that this was going to happen. He was right. Yeah, I mean, pellets are not cheap. They were at first. But it's like anything. They get you hooked. You know, buy this, buy the pellets. Then you got to have the vacuum, the special vacuum for hot coals. Then you got to have the plunger to cut the pipe out. Then you need a special tray to get the glass out. You know, it's not cheap. I miss that stove, though. I love a nice fire. I do. Let me turn this around. I miss it. But I get this little one. It's cute, but I worry about the electric bill now. Let me go with it some more time. So I'm going to make some flowers. So I'm just going to a little more purple in here. So I'm just going to do the flowers, I think, in this orange. And then I'm going to need some kind of green. I'm going to use this new leaf green. It's such a pretty green. It's like a springy green. It's not limey. It's not too green. It's just pretty. Little limey, little green. It's pretty. Almost the color of cut grass. So I'm just going to take, let me get another one. I'm going to take like a round brush. This one, different round brushes give me different shapes. This one is actually, I use these in my paint parties. It's a painting with a twist brush. It's kind of got a worn out edge on it, but it gives me like the coolest looking little flowers. So it's got it's like a round brush, but it's shorter. I don't know. It's great for flowers. So I just like do this and just lay it down. See what I did? You get just like some really cool flowers and just like leaves. So play around with your brushes too. Sometimes you find out that one brush will work better for one thing, and I don't have a lot of brushes that I use, but I have a lot of that are similar shapes and styles, you know. So I do different things. Yeah, and you'll have your favorites. I use round brushes and flat brushes, angle brushes, and a lot of filberts too. So yeah. So now I need some greens. Let me just dry that for a second so I don't mush it. Then maybe one other color. What do you think? How about some yellow? Yellow and purple look really good together. Baby I'll grab some yellow. Oh, I think I unplugged my dryer. Crap. I think I unplugged my dryer. Let's see. Yeah, I did. Guess we're not doing that. Let me get some yellow out. Get this baby duck. Baby duck. It's also like 3 dots right here. We're going to do them too. And I'll put a few, I'll show you how I do my little hearts real quick. Yeah, so Saturday we're going to do either one heart thing or the other. I haven't made up my mind. The one takes a little bit longer, so it all depends on how Diana feels. So let's just put a few little flowers in here and in the yellow. I want some yellow in here. Yellow looks good with purple. It looks good. Just a little bit. May dry this. I work pretty fast when I'm wet, so you guys might want to dry this. Let this dry with the green, put in the green. But I think I'm going to do, look at my other round brush. This bigger round brush, and you can do like, take some, all you do to make the hearts is just two marks. 1, 2, and you got a heart. Isn't that easy? Just like that, you got a heart. Just 2 marks. You can round it out if you want to, but it's a heart. You could take different sizes, do the same thing. Let's do the light purple. Same thing. Make yourself some little hearts. And you can do the orange too if you want to. And get yourself some hearts. All right. I'm gonna I gotta hook this. I need to dry this a little bit. I gotta get down here and hook this cord back in because I hit it. I keep hitting cords. My daughter comes home next week. I'm gonna have her. It doesn't smell back here. It doesn't smell in the front room or the kitchen. It's something near that couch. I kept telling her, every time I come near this couch, I start sneezing. So there's something there. Not only does it smell, but it's driving me nuts. And I'm kind of like a freak about it anyways, about smells. So, yes, I can't even go in a room full of potpourri. It drives me absolutely insane. So, nose starts running, eyes start burning, you know. So it's not quite that bad, but it was one day. But I've mopped like 3 times, so I don't know what it is. But I was thinking I had taken the trash out, and I thought maybe the bag, you know, was on the floor for a minute. Maybe it was that. There's some shit. I moved all the shoes, moved all the bags. I don't know. Something. I thought maybe there was something left in the bottom of the bag from grocery shopping. No, it wasn't that. I'll figure it out. Clean out your little trash can, clean the trash can out, you know, the whole thing. I just don't know where it's coming from. I had thought about critters too, but it's not that, it's something else, so I don't know. I'll figure it out. There was some fruit flies there one day, so I thought maybe, it came from the kitchen though. So I go to the market, sometimes you get fruit flies on stuff, so I thought maybe it was something underneath, I don't know. Makes me nuts, so can't stand odors. All right. So let me get my Posca pen. Let me dry this a little bit more. Pretty colors, right? I can kind of even everything up with my Posca pens. I know I just had them in my hand a minute ago. I got a small white and a big white. I think I want my big white one. Where are you? I got my small one. You got big one. Big one. You guys have stuff like that that bothers you? I don't, you know, I am, when I'm painting professional stuff, I'm a big, I use a lot of, Arteza brushes, but, I'm not too fussy about my brushes. I have watercolor brushes, which I use, you know, these are real soft. They're real soft brushes because they hold a lot of water. And then for my, the deco art lately, I've been ordering all these blue ones that you see me using all the time. These are all deco art. They're all beat up, but they're deco art. So I don't have any particular brand. But I haven't been using too many of the filberts, but I do like a good filbert. This is like a filbert. This is a watercolor filbert. But a filbert is, it's got a soft edge. So when you're doing something flat, you know how you can get that nice edge? Well, this will give you a softer edge. Like when you're doing a flower, you get a softer edge where, you know, when you got a flat, when you got to kind of tip it, you don't have to do that with this. It goes on real soft looking. You know what I mean when you start using filberts. But those are generally pretty much the same brands I use all the time. I used to be big on spending a lot of money on brushes. Not anymore. So I have oil brushes too, and most of them are Arteza. So, you know, it's up to you. Yeah, it just gives it a softer edge. It's the only difference. It's the same thing. So it's kind of like a round brush and a flat brush. Kind of like both. Depends on what you like and what you're doing. Sometimes it's the type of painting you're doing too, you know. All right, let me see. No preference really. Once in a while. I used to be using a lot in oils. I used to use these tiny, tiny brushes. And to this one art teacher, he's like, why are you using such small brushes? And I'm like, it's the way I was taught. He goes, well, you're going to be forever. He says, and it'll look better. So I started using bigger brushes. And not only does it take up a lot of time, but it just looks better because instead of making all these little tiny mistakes, it's much better to make one big smooth mistake. So you see, like I always say, I'm blocking in. I block everything in. The last thing you should do is details. Fixing edges, making something bigger, changing a color. That should be the last part of your painting. So if you take the big brush, you block in a lot of color. You can maybe 2 or 3 colors on one brush. You could do 2. You'll find that it just looks better. So you're not making all these tiny strokes. It goes a little faster, but it just looks better. Just try using bigger brushes. You should be able eventually to be able to do a whole painting. This is messed up right here with a big brush. You should be able to do just about, you see a lot of them do a whole painting with just a big brush. Big painting, you don't want to use a little brush here all day. Now you can for the details when you start getting towards the end, you know. You want to add a few branches or, you know, fix up some leaves or, you know, maybe put a nose in or something, you know. See, now I can just fix it up with my little brush here, my little pen. Still gotta put some leaves in. Just a little bigger still. Okay, these are the best invention. They are. Let's get some little leaves. You can do whatever you want. You can get pretty clever. I'm going to use a little angle brush here. I'm going to make a few leaves on the edge. Just a few. Gives a different type of look. Angle, flat brush. You can go in between where there's, fill it in a little bit. Now you could, I have 3 dots here, let's put them in. And then you could do little centers. Do the yellow ones with what? With what? Let's do them with this light purple. That's good. Oh, that was fun. Oh crap, look what I did. I washed my brush out. Time to wash my water. Time to wash my water. Whew. It was a long day. I got a lot done today, though. I was very happy when I get stuff done. So I'll do our little class tomorrow night. And I'll have a break in the morning. I was going to run down to the store, but I don't think I'm going to if it's going to be snowing. He'll come, you know, do all this stuff in the morning, but I don't really want to wipe my car off again. All right, so that's looking pretty good, I think. Fun little template. You can do it all different colors, do it any way you want. Like I said, you could add more flowers. Like this one, I did those. For this one, I did roses. Same template. This was a little smaller. This might have been freehand. I don't look at it. It might have been a freehand, but that's from my tracer that I had. So, but you can change it any way you need to. I tell you, when you get those tracers, or something bigger, smaller, don't like it, take it out. I think that's everything for tonight. So, like I said, Saturday 4 o'clock, and we're gonna do. Oh, what the heck? Let me turn my thing off. We're either going to do that one I was telling you about, the abstract wreath with the heart in it. Got roses all the way around it. Or we're going to do this other one, which is like clouds. They're heart clouds in the sky and tulip flowers that look like hearts on the bottom. One or the other. All right, so I'm going to see you guys Friday, Saturday, and see you other guys tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. And the tracer's in there, and if you got the ephemera, the way I set that tracer up, you're going to see me do the painting, and I actually paint. That's when I do, when I use those, when I'm doing the painting, sometimes you don't know they're in there. I paint over them. So if you haven't got the ink, if you want to do it in black and white even, just so you get the shape, you can put that in there. Or if you got a magazine, or you got some, you know, if you did any of those jelly plate, or you got any kind of paper that's, you know, pretty, you could put that in there too. So you don't have to use what I'm sending you. You could use anything you want. If you got like napkins, anything you could stick it on with. But you don't have to. You can just paint it, and I'll show you what I did, and you'll see what I'm talking about when we do the painting tomorrow night with the paper. But if you got the paper, it would be better. But you don't have to. So a black and white would work too, because you can paint it. Everything can be painted, you know. So I want up here something to send me a message. So, all right, guys. So I will see you tomorrow night and Saturday. You guys have a great night. I hope inspiration finds you wherever you go. And if anybody watches this later, make sure you put hashtag rewatch. And if anybody's new, make sure you say hi. And let me know what you thought and tell us where you're from. And as I said, I hope inspiration finds you wherever you go. And guys, make lots and lots of art. And thanks for coming. And I will see you tomorrow and Saturday. Bye, guys. Stay warm.